what? You all really, I have to give you the credit. I wasn't super looking forward to this land. I wasn't even thinking we were going to spend a lot of time in this land. And what a mistake that would have been, because they have really done something special with this. And you're not going to be disappointed.
This was for me, this was the surprise of the trip. I had absolutely no expectations for Dark Universe, and walking away, it was right up there as one of my favorite parts of this vacation.
Zippity-doo-dah, this is Bear Rabbit, and I gotta tell you, I find a great laughing place listening to the Magic Our Way podcast with Kevin, Danny, Eli, and Rachel. Zippity-doo-dah!
Jumbo, everyone.
Harambe.
And welcome to another edition of
The Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
The Magic Our Way podcast. They are truly magical and whatnot.
Asante Sana, everyone. You're listening to the Magic Our Way podcast from New Orleans, Louisiana. And on this show, we invite you to feel the libations.
Feel it, feel it.
We are artistic buffs and not artistic cream puffs. This is a show in which every opinion is welcome. MagicOurWay.com is where you can find us. In this episode, we present part 2 of Rachel's epic day at Universal Epic Universe. I went a little French there. You saw that?
A little French.
Look at this, yeah, a little French.
Thank you, Hotshot. Yeah.
Hey, look, this is your typical Polish practice Pixie Dust and Disney podcast. We are not on Walt Disney World property every day, letting you know that a damaged digital sign on World Drive has been fixed.
That's right, Kev. We're just here to drink ourselves a Guinness because this Universal trip report is about to get dark.
Ooh. My favorite beer.
Yeah, mine used to be. But look, you listeners, God bless you. You guys and gals have the easy part. All y'all have to do is to listen up to what we think up while we drink up.
Thank you for the church.
I was feeling holy. What do you want from me? You spoke French. You getting on me now?
Oh, hey,
come on.
Hey. My name is Kevin.
And I'm Danny.
I'm Eli.
And I'm Rachel.
And we have a special guest back again. Special guest, who are you?
I'm Josh.
Josh, long time a weekend. Back again. You heard him on the last show when we talked about Universal Epic Universe.
Not so much a special guest as extended family.
I like that.
I like that. I'll have to rewrite it. I have to rewrite my script every time he comes on.
I think you do.
He is.
Mm-hmm.
By proxy to the host, he is extended family now.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what I appreciate about you all.
We're podcast in-laws.
That's right.
Podcast in-laws.
I've never heard that.
Podcast in-laws.
I like that. That's good. I like that.
And look, if you are thinking about the Universal Orlando Resort, Rachel can help you book that or even a Disney vacation.
I've thought of nothing else.
Yes, yes. And booking Rachel is one of the easiest ways to support this show. Also, you can leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts and or wherever you access our show. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you never miss an episode of the Magic Our Way podcast. And as always, we want to thank our Patreon supporters for all that they do for us. All right, so now we don't have any jibber jabber for this particular show because we want to continue our discussion that we just had about Universal Epic Universe. So look, let's go hear the rest of the story of Rachel's preview at Universal Epic Universe. As I mentioned in the intro, we are continuing our discussion of Rachel's first experience in Universal Epic Universe. Rachel had the opportunity to preview Epic Universe during the travel agency preview period. And if you haven't heard the first part, go back to show number 575. 575, wow. We're 25 away from 600.
Wow.
You guys are old.
We're old.
Yeah. Man, our hairline would suggest it too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's why I washed my grays away.
My sciatica. But anyway, I was going to say, and if you haven't heard the first part on 575, go back and listen to it after you finish this one to catch all those details about the certain aspects like parking, Super Nintendo World, all that fun stuff.
But this is the good stuff right here.
This is serious stuff.
All right.
And look, like I have said, I am very excited to hear about this, as I know we have a lot of questions about Epic Universe, as Danny, Eli, and I plan for our own first experience there in early June. And so, yes, once again, I will turn it over to Rachel to guide us through this discussion. And you left us off with a cliffhanger about Dark Universe.
And speak slowly. I want to absorb all this.
Take all this.
I want to feel it.
I want to feel all the essence.
this is a new episode, and just in case there's anybody new, I do just want to be clear. We are going to give full spoilers here. So if you don't want any spoilers for Epic Universe, this is not the episode for you. Wait until you go and then come on back.
Oh, yeah, right off the bat. Here we go. Spoilers. All right, Rachel, take it away.
All right. So the next land we went to is Dark Universe. And you all really, I have to give you the credit. I wasn't super looking forward to this land. I wasn't even thinking we were going to spend a lot of time in this land. And what a mistake that would have been, because they have really done something special with this. And you're not going to be disappointed.
This was for me, this was the surprise of the trip. I had absolutely no expectations for Dark Universe, and walking away, it was right up there as one of my favorite parts of this vacation.
Oh, man.
That is so great to hear, because I see videos, I see pictures, y'all's pictures, and it just looks absolutely amazing.
It's incredible. It is.
And we went in the middle of the day, so it wasn't even like we waited until it was dark. And
yeah, good light. You had great light.
Yeah.
And I can imagine it's even better actually at night. The ambiance of dusk or nighttime in this world, I think, would make it even better. But we were at, what was it, noon, I think, when we were in there. And even then, it was amazing.
I was going to ask, what time did the park close?
9.
9. Okay, so y'all, okay, so all the effects that would have been at night would have been, cool.
We did, when we toured the portals, we did them kind of left to right.
Clockwise.
Our play. So we started in Super Nintendo, which is the far left, and then we went to Dark Universe, which was the next one in line.
Yeah. All right. So Dark Universe, I think one of the best things about Dark Universe is the team members. Everybody is in character, literally everyone. And they do such a good job. And you can tell that they're so proud to be a part of it. And they really get you into it. And it's like there's streetmosphere, there's live music. We had a live violinist going when we walked in.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, it was just so cool. And
Igor was roaming around.
Igor.
Igor, he was like fixing
this
weird cart thing and interacting with people. And it was amazing.
Yeah. Cool. Like if Universal had a Tally the Elf, that would be Igor, because I'm seeing him everywhere on social media. Like everybody's like, Igor's the best thing, and he's like the most.
No, Igor was great. Igor was a lot of fun.
And I love hearing y'all say this, because this sounds like Haunted Mansion epic level of pride in the world. Like the Haunted Mansion for Disney fans, they love that attraction. They're into the story, and it sounds like you're all saying this is for the entire land. These team members are.
Can I tell you my one regret about Dark Universe, and I haven't even said this to you, Rachel, because like I've read now that the restaurant in there, the steakhouse, Das Steakhouse. I have read that is just an incredible environment, and just the vibe and the theming is amazing. Sorry. We didn't go there, but we did do the
tavern though.
We did
spend a lot of time in the tavern.
We'll get to that, but I wish we had seen Das Steakhouse. That was kind of a theme for our trip, is we didn't spend a lot of time eating.
Okay.
But that's good, because there's like so much to see, other details that you had missed, that you just have to go back.
So the picture where Josh was like posed, like a burn.
Oh yeah,
where that wasn't Das Steakhouse.
That was outside a bathroom.
That was outside a bathroom. Our kids had to pee, and so I looked at the wall. I was like, Rachel, there's a body outline of blood on the wall. Let's just take a picture.
I love it.
That was outside a bathroom. The bathrooms are really well themed in every land, and in this one, everything's black. Your toilet's black. Your sinks are black.
Toilets.
Everything's black. Yeah,
I saw that.
But
it is truly dark.
My son came out and he was like, "Mom, the urinal was black."
Oh man, that's even awesomer.
Yeah. All right, I'll be there for about 30 minutes.
So the bathrooms are great, but we did go first to the Curse of the Werewolf because our son was really into roller coasters. This is where we got stuck. This was a theme of the day. So we've counted. We did 8 attractions, like including shows during the day, and only 3 of the 8 did not have a problem while we were on it.
Okay, so Rachel, you're saying like you were stuck on Donkey Kong on the last show. This is kind of the same kind of thing.
But this time, instead of getting stuck in line, we got on the ride vehicle, and then we turned to the first lift hill, and our car just stopped. And it stopped for about 20 minutes.
But before that, our wait in line was less than 20 minutes. I think
it was no big deal. Yeah,
for Curse of the Werewolf.
I want to preface this with Curse of the Werewolf is a minute and a half roller coaster. It's fun. It's kind of a crowd eater to try to defuse
It's not,
people.
yeah, you don't need to do
The
it.
queue is fine. I mean, it's like any local theme park as far as theming. It's entirely outside.
Yeah.
You do shade most of it, so you're at least out of the sun, but you know, that's not going to prevent the heat. So this isn't your feature ride that you really like. If I'm going to go there, that's what I'm going to go on.
It's a C ticket ride.
It's a fun ride. If the wait is low, it's worth going on. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun, but this isn't what you're going to want to wait 90 minutes for.
Dang, because they had the coolest name.
It did. Well, I remember the picture that you sent us when you said you were stuck, and I see the strained smiles on y'all's faces. In the sun.
We were in the direct sun. Yeah, that was tough. That was when we were on the ride vehicle. But we did go back later and we experienced it in its full glory. Yeah. And
we went back later, it wasn't broken.
Wait, did y'all have to be evacuated?
Oh, yeah, fully evacuated.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, damn.
Yeah.
They had to come and like manually lock the cars and then like turn
this was interesting,
to undo our harnesses and get us out on the track.
Because they're free spinning for anybody that's listening.
Right. So they had to lock the cars manually.
We waited about 20 minutes in line and then we got on the train. And this is there's a train and and the train is made up of individual cars that are 4 seats, 2 and 2 back to back. And so we got on the train and like, I know around here, Six Flags has a ride called Pandemonium where it's 4. There are a series of cars that are attached and they're 4 and 4 and the cars spin. And so that's what this was.
Yeah.
And so we got on the train and it went around the bend where you go to the launch and it stopped. And so we were like, okay, we're just waiting for our launch. And it's still waiting. And it kept waiting.
We were just stuck.
And then came the announcement that everyone dreads, which is, we're sorry, we are experiencing a brief delay. We thank you for your patience and understanding. I've given them neither of those at that point, but they thanked me for them anyway.
So it wasn't even theme. Like, I know Haunted Mansion has a theme to like break down. It was just a standard.
No, and that's where this ride falls short is in theming. It's decorated, but I wouldn't say that it's overly themed.
Okay.
And so, but this just going back to getting evacuated, this was kind of interesting. So first of all, we waited there for about 20 minutes, which was unfortunate. And it was like the hottest part of the day and the sun was beating right on us.
Ooh.
The good news is this is a ride where you're allowed to bring your backpack or whatever you have on you. And so we had sunscreen, we had hats, we had sunglasses, we had all that stuff. And so we took care of ourselves. But the cool part about that was, you know, they kept saying, oh, our mystics are on the way, which like, whatever. Just tell me someone's getting me the hell off this thing. But they came out and they had these gigantic metal clamps that they were screwing onto either side of the train.
Oh my God.
Like the jaws of life.
That's what I was thinking.
To make sure that it wouldn't move. And I always thought, oh, it's locked. We can just get off. And they're like, no, we take this seriously. Like, these are like gigantic clamps to make sure that train can't go anywhere.
It's the epic jaws of life.
But we couldn't move until those things were in place.
How long did it take for them to get in place?
Yeah, from when it stopped, the time that it took those people to get there with the clamps, get them installed and evacuate us, it was about 20 minutes. It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's good to know.
it was hot. It was sun. We had hats and sunscreen and everything.
I feel like they did right by us though. When we got off, they had bottles of water for everybody who had been stuck.
Oh, wow.
And they had come back with an express pass for everybody.
Yeah. And even before they had the clamps in place, they were telling us, look, we're going to get you off soon. And we have bottles of water here for you. And we'll give you as much as you need. And we know you're in the sun. And this is really unfortunate. We're sorry.
Good for them.
I have no complaints about the way Universal handled it. My point is I was fascinated by what it took to get someone off that ride.
So there was no such thing as, it's early previews. What do you expect? Suck it up.
They
took care of y'all. That's good.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. I remember last week where they said before they went in, they're like, well, let's just kind of preview things and be
tough luck
and stuff
right,
like that.
And that's a contrast. Yeah. So our experience was very different from some things that I had read about people who got evacuated from the Harry Potter ministry when it broke down and they were told you're out of luck. No, we didn't ask for anything. We asked for nothing other than, I really appreciated the water. And as we were walking out, they handed us express passes that would get us on anything except ministry, I think.
Oh, wow.
Ministry.
Oh, no, Minecart.
Okay.
Minecart were the only two exceptions.
I think I understand why your luck is better than the average bear out there. That's because Barack Obama blessed one of y'all's children. I think,
That's
like,
true. He
boom.
did
And like ever since then, just saying y'all untouchable. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying.
You got
Eli, we call him Uncle Barry. And
That's true.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So, but y'all did get to ride it later on.
We did.
This is my number one question about this ride, because this ride, I want to ride it, but I mean, as y'all put it, it doesn't seem overly engaging. My biggest fear is motion sickness on this ride.
Ooh, good question.
Because of the free spinning. How is it?
We didn't spin
I'm
it
going to
all,
take that
really.
one. I would say I'm going to take that one, Rich, because as I've aged, have become
Yeah, you're
prone to
more motion
sickness.
sick. Yeah.
And, just for example, if you all have been on Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey.
Yes.
We rode that on this trip, and I said to Rachel, that's the last time I'm ever going on that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, yeah.
I can't do it anymore.
I'm with you.
I didn't have a single problem with this ride.
Really?
Oh, that's good to know.
Now,
Bravo.
we had a conversation when we were in line about how we were going to balance the weight. And so I am the heaviest in our family.
No.
And so next to me, hey, F off, Tammy.
Wait, no, that's not
Next to
fair.
me
You got two kids, like they young, like you can't.
the lightest in our family.
Two kids and a wife, and
Okay.
And,
Yeah,
and Rachel and Heidi were behind us, but Rachel and I, who are the two heaviest in our family,
Yeah.
we were diagonal. So we really made an effort to balance the
Counterbalance.
weight in this
Got it.
thing.
Yeah.
Because, if it's a spinning car. So if you have all the heavy weight on one side, motion is going to just carry that.
But we didn't spin much at all.
We didn't spin a lot. We spun a little bit. But again, we made a conscious decision about how we were going to try to balance the
the
weight
car
in the car to make sure that didn't happen, because I tend to, with spinning, it's really only spinning that gets me motion sick. So I didn't have a single problem. If we wanted to, I could have gone right back on it.
Oh,
And
nice.
been happy about
Oh, that says a
So,
lot.
That's reassuring.
Yeah.
end of story. It was a really fun, short roller coaster. I guess we said there were spoilers. So spoiler alert, there's a point at which you kind of go up a hill and all of a sudden you stop and just start going back. When we had this moment where we're like, oh, is this thing supposed to go backwards? And
Yeah, that was surprising. Yeah.
Doesn't it go through the house backwards? Is that what it does, or whatever?
No,
No,
you
it
just
doesn't.
go
Okay.
backwards.
No,
I was like,
it
is that
doesn't go
supposed to
through a house at
happen?
all. It's an open air track.
Oh, weird. Okay.
Yeah.
And it goes through some corkscrews and spirals and things. But there was one point at which you go up a hill, but
You don't clear it.
Train doesn't carry enough momentum to crest the hill, and you slide backwards. But then you go through a mag launch that sends you back over. So
wait, to Kevin's point, I thought there was a point where you stop in between and you find out if you're cursed or something. Like there's
I think
nothing
that's
like
at the
that.
very
There's
end.
no.
At the very end.
At the
Remember
very
that.
end. So
yeah.
it's just you're out in the sun spinning around, and at the very end,
Yeah.
is there any kind of a effect or anything? Like,
no,
Oh,
Is there a werewolf?
not that I remember.
Wow.
Disco
Whoa.
werewolf? Anything?
No werewolf.
Again, and this goes back to what we were saying, like the theming, it's fine. It's a fun, short roller coaster. There's nothing spectacular about it.
but there's no story. Like I thought the idea was that whether or not you're cursed and you're a werewolf, and then you looked in a mirror and you saw yourself as a werewolf or something like that. That's a,
Oh.
If there's anything like that, I didn't get it.
oh wow. Well, now that makes me not want to ride it, because I'm like, wow, wait, there's nothing happen.
Well, I'm just happy it don't make you sick.
Yeah, I am happy about
It sounds
that.
skippable though.
I would say 20 minutes or less, ride it. It's fun.
It was a crowd out to his point.
Yeah,
He did
it's a
say that.
crowd
It was a
out.
crowd out.
Yeah.
He did throw that out.
But it sounds like it's skippable. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. Like
I was looking forward to actually
I was
riding this.
too.
that wasn't what I remember when they were doing the preview stuff. That's one of the things that they said is that you're going to find out if you're cursed by a werewolf or something, and in the sense that you were in front of a mirror or something, and you become you.
I don't remember that
something
part.
like
I
that. No animatronic, no nothing.
Nothing.
I didn't catch any of that.
Oh, that's disappointing.
No, but it's just a coaster.
Okay.
And to be fair, it is a secondary ride to the main attraction,
Yeah.
which is
Okay.
in that land, which we've seen a lot of videos and stuff.
This is not what you're asking, but when we got off, the
Yeah.
team member was like, "Good luck with that curse."
What does that mean then?
I mean,
And they
that
had a
was-
really fun gift shop right outside.
It was a great gift shop.
And you know what? I said 20 minutes. If the park is really busy and this is 30 minutes, it's still worth it. It is a fun ride.
Next, we went over to Monsters Unchained, and that was a pretty quick wait, but we did get to see the whole queue, and we did wait enough in the queue that we got to really enjoy it. What a great queue.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
That's
We got to
cool.
see
Yeah.
everything in that queue. It was amazing.
How long was the queue?
We were probably in there for like 25 minutes.
Oh, that's good.
I was say I think the ride itself was a 30-minute wait total.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad. Okay.
It wasn't bad, but you want to honestly, if there's a wait for this, I would do it because you want to
experience the
see
queue.
all of it. Yeah, the queue has so much to look at. It's really cool.
45 to an hour, I think, is
And the story,
good for this
you
queue.
talk about storytelling. Werewolf, there's not much story, but this one, there's so much story, and it starts in the queue, and they do such a good job, and the team members in the queue are totally in character. Like, it's awesome.
Good for them.
Yeah, this was probably my number 2.
This queue, and I've never been interested in this before, but this queue made me want to go back and read the original Frankenstein novel. Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. It's just like the theming of the construction of Frankenstein's monster, and the whole story is that this is Victoria Frankenstein, who's like the great granddaughter of
Victor,
Dr. Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But as you're going through the queue, it's all of these different stages of construction of a monster like Frankenstein's monster.
Oh, wow.
It was amazing.
It's really cool.
It was so cool. And good or bad, I love watching, kind of like the grotesque murder mystery or that kind of stuff. And not so much, I don't necessarily love horror movies, but kind of the construction of the Frankenstein's monster is in the vein of the things that I would enjoy. And just this queue of all the tools that they would use for that and the different stages in developing that really set the stage for, I thought, a very cool ride.
I would think I was always into Frankenstein from when I was in college. Like,
really?
They had, they had Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, but Bernie Wrightson.
No. You're thinking of Frankenhooker.
Oh yeah, no, that was in the later years. That's what my master's degree.
Yes, no.
It's like the X-rated Frankenstein.
No, that's for the later rides. That's called
the
Cycle
late
of
night
Hope.
rides?
No,
Yeah.
that was really a thing at one point in time where if you went to a video rental store, there was Frankenhooker.
Yes, he's
And
right.
if you press the box, the Frankenhooker would say, "Want a date?" But Frankenhooker would kill you.
Yeah.
Yes. But so I was going to ask, I hear that there is a tribute. I didn't see this I've seen ride-through videos, but I didn't see this in the queue, that there's a tribute to the original Boris Karloff Frankenstein monster in the queue.
Oh, wow.
Is that true?
I mean, so when you go through the queue, there's a part where there's the original monster there, and it has a screen that moves up and down and shows you almost like an X-ray inside the monster and all of its parts. That's cool.
Okay, so
Maybe that's it. Maybe that's what they're talking about.
that must be what they're talking about. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta find a video of the queue.
The queue it was creepy, but it was just the right amount of creepy. It was great. The whole thing was great.
Yeah,
And-
I mean that part was it was like a 6.5, 7 foot tall Frankenstein's monster, right? And it showed you every aspect of the monster.
Mm.
It was huge. Okay.
So then you get to the pre-show, and that has Igor, and he shows you the ride vehicle and how that's going to work, and that's really fun. It's the same ride vehicle as Forbidden Journey.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Kuka robotic arm on it. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
But much smoother. And then you go into the next pre-show with the Victoria animatronic and the Frankenstein animatronic, and both of those are incredible. They do a really good job. They tell a story they just continue the story. You understand the story so much better before you get on it because of that pre-show. And then you get on the attraction, and I guess I'm just ready to take your questions about the attraction, but I described it as the coolest haunted house I've ever experienced.
Yeah.
I've been hearing it described like that. Is that accurate?
Yeah,
That's accurate.
Absolutely. And I mean, the whole idea is Igor is, and I don't know, do you want to know the story behind it, or because Igor is controlling your ride vehicle through this whole experience.
I remember seeing videos about that where there's like the thing where he kind of freaks you out because he's like spinning like crazy.
Yeah.
So I was like, wait a minute, what's going on here?
But like the whole idea is, Victoria Frankenstein has been trying to control all of the monsters, and her big conquest was controlling Dracula. And so, the ride is Igor driving your vehicle through all of the catacombs beneath Frankenstein's castle, and Dracula escapes her captivity and is trying to get out. And that's the whole ride, is trying to evade, but then conquer Dracula and get him back into her captivity.
Control.
Control.
Yeah.
And,
control Dracula.
Frankenstein's monster is there and has a big part to play in it. And Igor he shows up controlling the whole vehicle. And, anyway, I don't want to give away the ending of how it ends, but the whole thing is about trying to recapture Dracula under her control.
They did a great job. The animatronics are great. It's not all screens. It combines screens and physical sets. Huge. Like super impressive physical sets.
Massive.
That's what I was going to ask, because we know Forbidden Journey and the ride system and how that works.
It's bigger.
Screens. It's bigger. Wow.
So much bigger. Yeah.
That's so much bigger. And it's more real set versus, Forbidden Journey. There's some real sets, but it relies heavily on screens.
Yes, absolutely.
And, just to throw back to the last episode where I was saying, I rode Forbidden Journey and I'm done with that ride forever, I think. I could ride Monsters Unchained 100 times over.
That's really good to hear.
The motion there's a lot of motion. It's very intense, but it's more subtle than Forbidden Journey. And the lack of reliance on screens versus real set I thought was a big difference.
So it's more dark ride and thrill ride?
No, it's definitely thrill, but it's a dark, thrilling ride.
It's thrill ride because, it has that same ride vehicle system that Forbidden Journey has.
Okay.
But for some reason, the screens on Forbidden Journey are a bigger challenge for me as far as motion sickness goes.
Okay.
I can see that.
This is more real set, less screen. And when there are screens, it's a smaller screen within a bigger set. And I do think the ride vehicle is a little bit less motion intensive. You still get a lot of movement on the ride. I don't know, Rachel, if you had the same thought, but the actual movement of the ride vehicle itself to me felt a little more mild than Forbidden Journey, while still giving me that motion, movement, thrilling experience.
Well, I can see that for sure. Like when you have the movement of the Kuka arm with the curvature of the screens, it can kind of be like a disorienting brain. Yeah. For lack of a better word, brain.
Yeah.
That's what makes you like dizzy and not want to do it again.
I like the fact that Josh is cool enough and relaxed enough to say he's not in any pain when he does a lot of these rides.
That is important.
It is.
It's very important.
I am not in as good shape as Josh or Rachel.
Right.
And I've said before, like, you put me on these rides and he's spinning and rickety, I'm like, I'm traumatized.
That's a good point.
I want to enjoy this experience, so this is reassuring to hear.
What was comfort level like Werewolf? Was it tight, or did it feel? Because I remember you talked about it on like the other Donkey Kong thing.
Good, and they have test vehicles outside of every attraction, so you can test to see if it's gonna be a problem for you or not. But most of the attractions have one or two seats that are larger than the others, and so if you're concerned, like, you can make sure that there's a larger person in the larger seat.
Okay.
It's always the seat. How you know what I'm talking about, Danny? Danny and I were like
seat label husky.
We're over 6
I know.
feet. So
We're very short, so we're not gonna be able to tell you about leg room.
I ain't trying to dog nobody out on that.
Wait, define short. What is short?
Josh and I are 5. You're 5'5".
5'5", 5'6". I don't know, somewhere around there.
I'm 5'4".
But like, even as a shorter person, having sat in this ride vehicle, if you've been comfortable in the Harry Potter Forbidden Journey, it's the identical ride vehicle of that.
Okay,
that's good to know. That's what I'm saying.
If that ride vehicle works for you, this ride vehicle will also work for you. It's identical.
What was the most impressive animatronic for y'all on this ride?
So I guess this is going to be a spoiler, but to me, I thought the most impressive animatronic was probably 3/4 of the way through when you're trying to get Dracula back under her control. There's just this bigger than life Frankenstein's monster that is trying to connect these two energy sources. The movement was fluid. It looked like human movement, human interaction.
Oh, wow.
That's like their shaman.
Yeah, it was great.
Yes.
All of them were great. There was a gigantic Dracula animatronic. It was great. There's so many.
The Phantom of the Opera one, when he kind of like lunges at you with his arm like that.
There's a Phantom of the Opera one?
There's a Phantom of the Opera in there playing the piano.
Ooh.
And as you go past him,
that one was cool too.
And I was
I don't know. The Frankenstein monster is the one that stuck out to me when he's trying to connect these two energy sources. And I mean, the idea is they're trying to get natural light into the catacombs to, disable Dracula.
Did his shirt come off like Deadpool and Wolverine? It's like all like ripped and cut.
Abs. It's like, there's stitches everywhere.
Gutters.
Yes.
Yeah. That's lovable. Yeah, of course.
That's awesome. I'm so psyced for this ride.
That's a good visual.
I'm really psyched.
It's so cool. Rachel hit it on the head when she said it's the coolest haunted house you're ever going to experience.
So I can't wait.
Haunted Mansion or Monsters
this
Unchained?
One for sure.
100% Monsters Unchained. No question.
This is like Haunted
That's
Mansion.
hard.
This is like Haunted Mansion grown up.
Somewhere, Kirk Landry just jumped out of his chair somewhere.
I mean, look, where Haunted Mansion is fun and kind of gimmicky and like old timey and nostalgia, this is like today's haunted house.
Okay.
And it's technologically advanced. The ride vehicles are intense, but not too intense. The animatronics and the projections are unbeatable. This is the haunted house of now.
This is like Haunted Mansion's grandson is what I'm visualizing,
That's what I'm saying. It sounds blasphemous, but
it's all right. You being real.
I got to see this because I do think that if anything can give Haunted Mansion a run for its money, it's got to be this.
It has to be this.
The pre-show does a very good job setting the stage for what you're about to experience, because kind of like Rise of the Resistance has that pre-show with the Ray hologram and the BB-8 and, it kind of sort of tells you what you're going into. This has a pre-show with Victoria Frankenstein, and she brings out Frankenstein's monster, and it talks about what the mission is and what you're about to see, and really sets the stage for the ride and the experience. And it does a very good job, I thought. I don't know, Rachel, I don't know if you had the same impression, but I thought this was the most complete experience that we had at Epic Universe. Just kind of start, cue, pre-show, ride.
I like the Battle of the Ministry. We haven't gotten to that yet.
Oh, no, it's on the line. It's on the line. Oh, boy.
I think this topped that one. I think that might have been a better ride, but I think complete experience, this topped it.
Stop it. That atrium? Are you kidding me right now? The Battle of the Ministry queue is incredible. Come on.
It had a house elf and some really cool sets. I don't know. I thought this was cooler.
Josh just reduced it to that.
Whatever.
I can see both points on this one because
absolutely.
Okay, I have seen the Monsters Unchained video, the ride through video. I've not seen Harry Potter, but I could see that being more animatronic reliant and that and as such feeling more immersive and a better story. And whereas Harry Potter, I'm not sure who's in it. I don't know, but I imagine it's very screen reliant.
For context, I went into this whole trip thinking Dark Universe, Monsters Unchained. Sure, we'll eat some time there.
Yes.
And I walked out thinking, was that or was that not my favorite part? It's in the running. It was incredible.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Your son really liked it because, he didn't even put, I was really impressed to hear that because I know that was...
You heard him talk about that at the end, but that blew me away was how much he loved it.
Yeah, because Rachel was like, I'm not even taking him. And I was like, come on. She's like, okay, maybe I'll sneak away while Josh is letting him punch things in Mario World.
But the last thing I want to say about Monsters Unchained that I really appreciate is that they didn't rely on grotesque.
Nice.
Yeah, that's good.
That's a great statement.
They embraced Frankenstein's monster. They embraced Dracula, the Phantom of the Opera, the Creature of the Black Lagoon. They embraced all of these monsters, but they didn't take it to a grotesque shock level.
Good.
They just really made it an immersive experiential attraction where you saw these monsters, but they're not going to make, the squeamish people aren't going to get sick because of what they're doing.
It's not that.
There's no gore and guts and blood. It's just the monsters and what they do. And I really respected that approach to this thing. And again, just a really well done, well themed from start to finish attraction. And I know Rachel disagrees with me, but I just, even now playing it back in my head, I think it may be the most complete attraction that they put together. And some of that is because they didn't have as much to play on as Harry Potter did. Like Harry Potter Ministry of Magic has the movie set that, we'll just take that movie set and build it and it's cool. Like they had to take, these movies haven't been made since the 20s, 30s, 40s with these monsters, but they had to make it into today's experience. And so it was sort of a recreation. Whereas what they did with Harry Potter was spectacular. I think there was less imagination that was required with that versus creating this Monsters Unchained attraction
to make it relevant to today's audience. No, that
exactly.
I can see that. Yeah.
Yes.
Now we got to see both. I don't know now.
Oh, we're going to see both.
I'm salivating.
I don't want to take away from Harry Potter, and we'll talk about that because that was also spectacular. I mean, if you're going to ask me my top 2 attractions of this experience, it probably was the 2 of them. Although Stardust Racers, which we'll talk about, was amazing.
I'm curious about that one. Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, Rachel, would you concur?
Yeah. Oh, those were the top 3.
Top 3. And what's your order?
I would go Battle at the Ministry and then Monsters and then Stardust.
And Joshua would go Monsters, Battle Ministry, and then
Stardust?
Celestial.
I haven't really thought about the way that I would rank the 3 of them. And I'm going to, if you like held my feet to the fire right now, I think I would say Stardust Racers is number 1 for me. And that's only because more than anything on this earth, I love roller coasters. I am a roller coaster fan. Like if I could go to one, if you like put a gun to my head and said pick one amusement park and go to it, I would pick Cedar Point in Ohio.
I was about to ask you about Cedar Point. Yeah,
roller coasters.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Cedar Point is a roller coaster in Ohio, like a theme park in Ohio.
Cedar Point is like roller coaster mecca
Force,
of the world.
All that.
Yes.
It's like the coaster capital of the world.
So if you pick, if a gun to my head, what are your top 3? I gotta put Stardust Racers number 1 because I love roller coasters. I am a roller coaster fiend.
I didn't expect that. That's big.
What do you do?
So what's next? So what would be your second? Just out of curiosity.
Man.
Monsters and Ministry are very, very close, but I think if I'm looking completeness, I think I have to give it to Monsters.
Okay.
Ooh.
1A and 1B.
Part of what's influencing Josh's love for Dark Universe is the next thing, which is the Burning Blade Tavern.
You stop. You
That's
stop right there. You loved Monsters before we went to the Burning Blade,
I know,
and that
but
was just
it really
the cherry on
completed your experience. So we went to the Burning Blade Tavern next.
Did it light up?
We did see it light up. That was cool. And Josh even got a t-shirt. He loved
I did.
it.
I bought the t-shirt.
A t-shirt. What's on the t-shirt?
Yeah, what's on the t-shirt?
I didn't know about
I'm a big
t-shirt.
t-shirt guy.
It's like the baseline Tap House t-shirt, Dave.
Yeah. So this is my favorite type of t-shirt. It's like, it's a dorky t-shirt, but it's only dorky if you know what it is. And if you know what it is, you're equally as dorky. And so you got nothing to say.
I'm with you.
It's got the windmill on it, and it just says the Burning Blade Tavern.
Is it the whole shirt, or is it just like a little part of the shirt?
So the graphic covers the front of it, but it's just script on the front.
There's
of it.
no burn spots.
Is that
or
on
anything,
fire
right?
or nothing?
No burn spots or
That
No.
I haven't tested this out, but it said that it's blacklight reactive.
No, well, go to a rave. Let us know how that works.
So I don't know what the blacklight reaction is yet, but it also like it's got that sticker that like no 2 shirts are the same because of the way they've made them. So
Oh wow.
the dyeing of the colors on the shirt I think is unique to each one.
It's like a brown tie-dye kind of.
Yeah.
a brown tie-dye. Okay.
Or like burn dye or something. I don't know.
Oh, I like that because it's like burning embers.
But we loved the Burning Blade Tavern. Here's why you're going to love it too. The bartenders are top notch. We
Oh my
had a
God.
bartender named Tia, and Tia was fantastic. And
Tia was amazing.
Tia told us that they can make anything. So we walked in and we were like, we don't really love sweet drinks, and we don't love drinks that are pre-made or pre-mixed. And Tia was like, listen, I can make you any drink you want. You can order anything.
Oh, wow. I like that.
Yeah, so you can order anything there.
But
Tia was like, when we created this park, the number one thing as food and beverage, we were told, was that nobody likes a weak drink. And so their number one goal is to make sure that everybody has a strong drink. And even if it's pre-made, they're going to make sure that they're putting very spirit forward.
I like Tia already.
And Tia told us, Tia was like, listen, I'm a heavy drinker. And these are good drinks. I can taste the spirits. And we're like,
Tia actually
right.
told us that across the park there's a bar, and we didn't go to it, that exclusively sells frozen drinks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which we would never
it's the
get.
Celestiki.
And Tia said to us, I am a heavy drinker, and even those frozen drinks after one, I'm feeling it.
So
wow, okay.
So if we went
That's
there and we
dope.
said, "Hey, look, we're from New Orleans, so bring it," she would know how to bring
They
it.
will bring it.
Yeah,
Well, unless it's if it's a pre-mixed, it's already brought. But
So we ended up ordering the pre-mixed drinks.
we ordered 2 of them. Actually, well, 3 if you
Those
count
were
the
strong.
mocktail
The
that our
pre-mixed
kids
drinks
had.
were strong.
What were the drinks?
Yeah.
What
They
was the
were.
drinks?
So the kids got the monocane, which was a mocktail. That was the pineapple syrup, blue raspberry syrup, passion fruit syrup, the luster dust, which is glitter dust.
This is
essentially,
glitter.
and Sprite. So that's what we got the kids. Josh got the Pure of Heart, which is the Misguided Spirits Hinky Dinks Workman's Whiskey.
Which I actually looked up, and it's a rye whiskey. So
A rye whiskey.
Oh, okay,
I'm
good.
just gonna-
I was
we'll
wondering.
just
That's what it's called. Misguided Spirits is the brand.
It's called Misguided
Yeah.
Spirits Hinky Dinks Workman's Whiskey, but it's a rye.
Holy man.
Okay, I
okay.
And then
I get your taste on that.
The Bitter Truth Violet Liqueur, De Kuiper Creme de Cassis, lime juice, pineapple juice, honey syrup, blackberry essence topped with ginger beer. So that was what Josh got, the Pure of Heart.
The coolest part about that one is she made it, and then she put it in a like a capsule and smoked it.
Oh, that's okay. That is
I
the
didn't see that in
best presentation ever.
So did y'all encounter any character actors at the Burning Blade?
We didn't do it inside the tavern, but when we were leaving, we encountered a character actor who was a monster hunter, and we had a really cool interaction with him. So I think
that's
he was
awesome.
going into the tavern, but he caught us as we were leaving.
Nice.
And so he walked with us for a little bit, and then he went back to the tavern.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
how
That's
cool
fun.
is that?
That's
It
fun.
was really cool. He did a great job. And I haven't talked about my drink though yet. I got the My Only Weakness, which was the London Dry Gin, Aperol, cherry brandy, lemon juice, simple syrup, Angostura bitters, Angostura orange bitters, and then soda water, lemon wheel, and a cherry. And this was a great drink and super strong, even though it was pre-mixed. We both got pre-mixed drinks, but we both thought they were really good. And so I think you can feel safe getting a pre-mixed drink at Epic Universe. And we did get my garlic steak, the bread, the pretzel.
Oh, with
The
the
steak
the
that looks
steak
like-
stab.
I gotta tell you, this was my only disappointment of the whole land.
No, Richard.
What?
I know. It was good, but it wasn't a pretzel. It was a breadstick.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like it wasn't. It
Oh.
didn't have like a pretzel taste. It was just a breadstick.
Dude,
It was
That's an
garlic
important
bread.
distinction.
Yeah, no,
that's
time
fair.
out. That is a big difference.
It is.
Did it taste good?
I mean, it tasted fine. It was garlic bread.
But I can get garlic bread at Domino's.
Olive Garden for sure.
Olive Garden, yeah.
Pretzel? Nine. Breadstick.
See that concept again, man. I hate
Rachel,
that for
that
you, Rachel. I'm
disappoints
sorry to hear
me.
that. I know you were pumped
I'm very
about
sorry.
that.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, it was garlicky, but it wasn't a pretzel. So that was the bummer. But everything else
That
was
is a
great.
bummer.
I just remember messaging back and forth with Rachel and how lit she was with 2 drinks.
I was, and I stopped posting for a little while because I needed a minute.
So, listeners, if you follow us on social media and you're like, "Hey, Rachel hasn't posted anything," that's why.
Yeah, I had a great drinks.
And we were inundating her with questions. That is
That's a
important.
lot. Yeah, we were doing a lot of stuff.
The funny
Yeah.
part too is the next portal we went to is the Harry Potter stuff, and if you watch the video back, I'm like a little bit slurring my. It's not a great description of the portal.
I didn't see that. Oh, you you pulled
lights and stuff.
I like it.
what you're saying. You pulled a me when you were trying to describe that.
Yeah,
is
it wasn't
basically
great.
what happens.
Just to go back real quick, because you said something that has been a major critique of ours with Universal Studios, and that so many of their drinks are pre-made drinks without full bars being present and everything. Give us an idea as to how the pre-made drinks are in general, or and whether or not you can order something beyond that cart mindset of, whatever we have here, that's all you got.
So you can order anything there. Like they can make you any classic. You want gin and tonic. You want like you can get anything you want. Yeah,
Really?
old-fashioned, anything you want. But it's a standard bar.
Good.
But the pre-mixed drinks are like, it's a concentrated mix. And then whatever it is that they're putting in as the
liquor.
the soft drink, they put in after the fact. So like for Josh's, where it has like all the whiskey, the creme de cassis, the lime juice, pineapple juice, honey syrup, blackberry essence. So that all was together and they put that into a glass and then they topped it with the ginger beer.
So there's no way Josh could have said, make this less sweet.
Well, they could put it in less of the mix, I guess. But yeah, no, you really couldn't.
But then it's less boozy.
Yeah.
Right. That's true.
Okay.
And then mine, like they put everything in, they put in the mix and then soda water on top.
Like kind of floated almost.
Yeah. They were really strong. I mean, they were good though.
They were strong.
They weren't junk.
That's a great distinction though, because it's like before that we didn't really equate it to that.
No.
And now it's like you're telling me you're going to get your money's worth.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Oga's Cantina at Galaxy's Edge. Those are all
good
pretty
call.
Oh, they're not strong at all.
Was there plentiful seating?
Yeah. There was when we were there, like we had no problem getting a seat. I can imagine if it were busy, it would be hard to find a seated table. There were standing tables too. It's not huge in there.
Is it La Cava sized or no? Bigger?
No,
Bigger than La Cava.
A little bigger than La Cava. And like your question leads me into my biggest concern for this land is once they open it to full capacity, where do all the people go?
Well, that's where we're going to be experiencing. So yeah, okay.
So I don't know what this bar will be like when they're at full capacity, because for us, in the limited experience that we had no trouble finding a seat. I turned around, there was a seat in the corner. I grabbed the table and sat down with the kids.
Cool.
When there's, 2 to 3 times as many people in the park, I don't know what you're going to experience.
See, I'm predicting like La Cava type popularity with this place because La Cava is constantly like packed.
I don't know that the quality is quite where La Cava is, so I don't know if the crowd will be quite as look.
That's believable.
That's big because La Cava is killer.
I compared it to Oga's, okay, and you can't compare Oga's to La Cava.
Oh no, absolutely not.
So I don't know that it's gonna.
Okay,
it is better than Oga's, but I don't think it's not the handcrafted level of quality you expect from La Cava. It's a very good bar. Very strong drinks.
That's a great description.
Yes.
La Cava is, you've got quality mixology bartenders making craft drinks for you. This is, I've got a really awesome theatric bartender that's going to pour me this premixed cocktail or can make me whatever I get, but it's not, it's not the same level.
All right. So like Danny just showed us a picture of that t-shirt that Josh said he got. It looks freaking awesome. I'm going to get one of those because it's just badass. Where am I going to get one of those?
Yeah, right after the Burning Blade Tavern, we went to the gift shop on the way out. I don't know what it was called, but it did have like a themed name or something.
Pretorius or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Das Gift Shop.
It wasn't that. It was better than that. So we walked around a little bit. What I thought was cool was that this gift shop was also connected to the Monsters makeup experience.
Oh, yeah.
So we could like see a little bit into the studio there where they do the makeup. Nobody was getting makeup done at the time, but I know they are already doing it. They did have the full costumes for adults and children for the Monsters makeup experience. So you could buy the full costumes for each monster there.
So wait, time out. So this is like one of those things where you go to like a tourist spot and you take a picture in a Western costumes, you have the makeup.
Oh, no. You do the makeup, but it's more like Bippity Boppity Boutique.
Yeah.
Monster makeup. So you're buying like you would buy the princess dress. You would buy the werewolf costume.
That's better than like the tourist spots.
Yeah. So there were a lot of those things there. There were also like hats that you could put on that made you look like the characters, or, so it was a little less intense. But yeah, Josh got the Burning Blade Tavern t-shirt there. And there was just like general toys and plushes and all kinds of stuff for each of the monsters.
There were like classic monster movie t-shirt type things.
Yeah,
too.
there were. Yeah.
There was the classic creature from the Black Lagoon logo or image was on a t-shirt. And so you could buy that there. And, there was the werewolf and that sort of stuff. So there was a combination of new stuff for this park and new shirts for this park that pulled from classic monster movie imagery.
I love that because like other than like Redbubble or like any of those independent t-shirt places, that's the only place you can get it official from Universal.
I'm going to spend so much money there. I really am.
This was the surprise of the trip for me. Like I thought, okay, fine, we'll walk through Dark Universe. It'll be fine. It'll be a thing, whatever. And I couldn't believe how awesome it really was.
We saw a lot of the monsters while we were walking around. We saw the Invisible Man.
Oh, did you talk to him?
No, we didn't. We just watched.
We had a little bit of an interaction with Igor, though. He was fixing a cart as we were walking toward the Curse of the Werewolf. And so we had a brief interaction with him there. I don't really remember much about it. But yeah, it's just like my biggest regret about Dark Universe is that we didn't end up eating at Das Steakhouse, which I've heard is just the theming is amazing. So, but like that was kind of our thing for this trip. We didn't focus on food and dining and sitting down. We focused on wanting to really see everything.
Well, what's interesting, Josh, is you have a wife that can book a vacation to go visit it.
Yeah,
but that cost me money, Kevin.
Just like the power up band and the secretary.
Even sit down, he's running on you.
It costs money. It's not like it just happens. It costs money.
Wait, I got a question in terms of the land itself in Dark Universe, because one of the things you read a lot about is the fog machines. Now, y'all,
like when you go through the portal, you hear about the fog just like hitting you when you go through.
Yeah. Well, but then I heard people saying when you first walk in, it's like mist to help cool you down. So that was going to be my question. How much of it is fog? How much is misters? What's the...
Did you feel the transition, I guess?
You definitely feel the transition. I remember the fog. I don't remember being misty. When we went through, it was daylight and then kind of duskish. It definitely was better when it was a little darker. I remember noticing the purple and the lightning more and all that. I don't remember a ton of mist, though. Do you, Josh?
I don't remember a lot of fog or mist. I remember each of the portals as you walk through them. Just, the kind of the walking through the portal was a very cool experience.
Okay.
Because they were each themed differently. The interior of the portal, Dark Universe was all purples and kind of like purple lightning effect as you were walking through it. We talked about Mario, and that was the warp pipe. So it was all green with the Mario theme. So I mean, each portal was unique in the experience, but I don't remember a lot of fog or mist or any of that.
Okay.
And that's not to say it didn't happen. It just didn't really leave an impression on me. And it could just be because I was distracted by something else as we were going through.
So Mario was the best unveiling.
100%.
Yeah. Okay. So what would you put it like the second or the third?
I thought the other three were very similar.
Very similar. Okay.
Each of the three of them, you sort of walked through and it opened up into this. But it's kind of unfair because like Mario is a video game world, right? Versus the other three, you were going into places that could be real places. And so they weren't this fantasy world that you've only lived in kind of childhood experiences. You walked through this sort of like haunted land, but it was still real buildings and real world things. Or, the Isle of Burke could be a real island that just happens to have dragons. And the Harry Potter, you walk into a village. It
looks like France.
It's just a side street in France. So I think Mario had a bit of an unfair advantage in that it was creating something that's unreal that you're walking into.
It is fair. That's fair. It's a little bit of a disappointment for me because I remember when we first covered it, they talked about dedicated fog rooms.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah.
Concept art.
You're right. That would create the atmosphere of Dark Universe.
Well, the fact that you said it was unnoticeable speaks like brilliant.
Yeah.
By the time we go in the beginning of June, it may have like a completely different experience that was still in testing when you guys went. I'll be curious to see how that goes.
But that alters my expectation.
Yeah, it does. It does alters, but maybe it lowers it. But maybe when we go, we're going to be like significantly like, oh my gosh.
I was going to say but you're a guy who is big into Halloween, Dan. And I know you've used fog machines. What would you say? Like it's more effective during the day? Is it easier to pull off during the day? That same...
No, fog is more effective. Way more
it's
effective
tough
at
at night. Yeah,
Right.
especially when you can backlight it with like colors.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, colored light. Yeah.
I mean, it's supposed to be a haunted environment, so that is.
But at the same time, it's like you hope that they could pull it off in the daytime as well.
I was going to say like 70% of your experience at these parks are going to be during the day.
Yeah,
so you got to hope that they deliver a little something when you're walking through it during the day as well. Because if you're dependent upon this being only effective at night, then that gives people only really 3 hours.
It's like Animal Kingdom level of experience.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not. I felt like it was effective in the day.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
I can't wait to experience it.
Same here.
Look, spoilers be damned. I look forward to experiencing it because I mean, like,
this is a one land.
This is whetting my appetite. I'm like, I want to go there and experience what you got. I want to get all the strong pre-mixed drinks.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do Das Steakhouse for you guys because y'all didn't get a chance to do it because it just looks amazing. And look, hey, this is part 2 of Universal Epic Universe Trip Report. We got more to talk about with the rest of the lands. We're going to talk about Universal Epic Universe's Dark Universe because Danny loves Dark Universe. It's probably one of the most intriguing lands that they got.
100%.
Stay tuned for our next episode. We're going to talk about the rest of Rachel and Josh's first experience, I should say. Hands-on first experience with Universal Epic Universe. And if you want to get in touch with us, ask us any questions or you have any comments, we're about to tell you how to do that in just a little bit. Well, look, y'all, we hope you enjoyed hearing that particular segment of Universal Epic Universe. If you want to learn more about us, the Magic Our Way Podcast, follow us on any social media platform. You can see Rachel having a great time, enjoying the premixed drinks. And look, if you want to contact us to share your opinions, you can do so through the following ways. First of all, shoot us an email at show@magicourway.com or call or send us a text message at 1-815-MO-WEEKEND. That is 1-815
Mo Weekend
669-4226. And yes, I admit we are 504 area code, but 815 is the only way we can get Mo Weekend as part of our phone number. A little history. There you go.
What do you want?
So as soon as 504 Mo Weekend opens up, I will buy it. But whatever. And we got a couple of people do things outside the podcast. First of all, we got Eli does things with comics. What you got, sir?
Hey, man, if I can get the money to help you do that 504 Mo Weekend thing, I will. And if y'all are wondering how to do that, always go to ivycomics.com. We out there on the internet. Check out all the work I have. Savages, Project Geisha, and the Molly Be Damned. All the work, 48 pages, fully colored. That's more for your bucks than you would get from the big two. And they're making movies. I'm just a guy hanging out. All right. You got blogs and interviews and a link to this podcast, the Magic Our Way Podcast. So you never miss a beat. You never miss an episode. You never miss that hands-on feeling when you're trying to get that love and epic feeling. That's what I'm talking about. So as always,
you've lost that epic feeling. Whoa, that epic feeling.
Yeah, I love
you, Goose.
You can be my wingman anytime, Kev. All the time.
Yeah, you're right.
That's right. That's what we do. Facebook.com right there. Elijah Ivory. How you doing? Pleasure to meet you if you're a real person. If you're a bot, do not need to greet you unless you got a way for me to fix my CPAP machine so that Kevin don't kick me out when I go on the vacation. But I doubt that's going to happen because, I haven't taken that job yet to save the Princess of Munda from terrorists, as the bots want. But also on Facebook, there's a Project Geisha fan page. Appreciate the love on that. So again, facebook.com/Project Geisha. Also on Instagram, posting up the hearts and likes. See, that's what I love about this show, right? We did a trip a long time ago. I met a dude on the airplane.
The Marine.
Yeah, Mr. Jarrett.
Yes, I remember.
Talk to him. He's like, oh man, all right, cool. He listened to the show, became a fan of the show. Boom. Follow me on there. Now I'm seeing him like what he's doing with his family stuff. Hearts and likes. Like people think, oh, that's just a joke. You just say stuff. No, I mean what I say it. I say what I mean. So EIRE504. Also on X, you can find me at HancockTimWit66. So yes, if you appreciate the madness, you're just bringing me the gladness. Thank you very much.
And look, if you want to book a vacation to Universal Epic Universe or to any of the Disney parks or any major city around the United States, you can do so through Rachel. Rachel, how do they do this?
You can. The best way to reach me is Rachel at magicourway.com. So that's RACHEL at magicourway.com. So that's email. That's the easiest way to reach me. But you can also find me on social media. My way to find me on social media is at Our Family Magic. That's the letter R in the words Family Magic all smushed together. I'm most active on Facebook, but also Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. You can call me. I have a phone number. You can text, leave a voicemail, do a regular phone call. The number is 978-432-WISH, WISH. Please give me a call. The best thing about booking with me is it costs you nothing extra on your trip. It's totally free, and I can help as much or as little as you like. But a little piece of the value of your vacation comes back to support this podcast and this fan community. And we are so honored to have that support from you. I love doing it. So please reach out and I can help book, like I said, Universal, both coasts, Disney, both coasts, Disney Cruise Line, Royal Caribbean, other cruise lines, and major hotel brands around the world. So really, if you're traveling somewhere, you can reach out and I can probably get you there, and it helps to support this podcast. So thank you so much.
She's the only one I trust with my vacation.
No
Mine
doubt.
too.
But look, I got to thank this next guest because he's come on the show and he's been a long time a weekend and he married this woman. Josh.
You did.
Yeah, man. Right on.
What the?
I don't know.
No, he runs the
Thanks for
race.
being here. Thanks for being here.
I was after that rhapsody over Rachel. I don't know that I have much to add to that.
I love Josh. I back him against anybody that isn't named Rachel.
That's bullshit, Danny. Go away. I'm done with you.
What? What did I say? If it ain't Lee, forget it. Yeah.
If it ain't Lee, forget
You
about it.
backed me until she came along. and then
Tell me
changed
when
the
I'm
football.
telling
You're like,
lies.
You know what? That's that guy.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
That's right. That's
You're
right.
dead to me. You are
Dead to me. So
You're
me
dead
out.
to me.
Put me out there when the things came down
Oh,
on the
no.
line.
That's all right. I'll live with a winner.
You like Paul Heyman right there. Like,
Oh my God. Look, y'all, if you want to support all this fun, man, go to patreon.com/Magic Our Way if you want to elevate that support. And look, another option that only costs a minute or so of your time is to leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts and wherever you access the show, whether it is YouTube, Spotify, Podbean, etc. Any way which you can support the show is deeply appreciated. We also want to thank you for being a loyal listener, and we always love hearing from our listeners. All opinions are always welcome in the Magic Our Way podcast, so make sure you get in touch with us today. So we say Quaharini, my name is Kevin.
And I'm Danny.
Magic out.
All right. Nachos are on plates.
And you are. Bye.